One of the best mediums to portray body horror is animation. Not live action, not CGI trying to look real, it's animation. It doesn't have to obey the same laws that live action or CGI does. It doesn't have to obey skin, it doesn't have to obey bones or the laws of physics. In live action, the body can only break so much before it doesn't look human, and CGI has its limitations. In animation, there is no limitation. It can stretch forever, it can melt forever. There is no real outcome for how you want. It's only your imagination that can limit it. Today, we're going to talk about body horror and animation. And that's China, my dog. One of the best shows that I could always bring to mind is Parasite. A hand that isn't quite yours anymore. That's how it starts. No explosions, just a quiet invasion. Shinichi goes to sleep human and wakes up sharing his body with something else. Migi doesn't just attach to him, it becomes a part of him. His hand moves on its own, his body reacts before he thinks. The horror isn't just physical, it's psychological erosion. Because Shinichi adapts, his emotions dull, his empathy fades, he becomes colder. The parasite changes his body and his body changes his mind. Animation makes this terrifying because Migi isn't static. The eyes open in palm, his fingers stretches in blades, his flesh reshapes like rubber. The human form stops being stable. So the question rises, if your body isn't fully yours anymore, are you still fully you? If Parasite is about sharing your body, Akira is about a body that can't contain what's inside of it. Tetsuo's mutation never settles. He doesn't become one monster form, he becomes mass. Flesh swells, metal fuses, limbs form where they shouldn't. Structure disappears. This isn't evolution, it's overload. His mind can't handle the power, so his body can't hold its shape. Animation lets his form spiral beyond anatomy. Muscles stretch wrong, skin bulges, shapes collapse into each other. And the most horrifying part, he's still conscious. It's the terror of being trapped inside a body that no longer follows your command. In this section, we're going to talk about the golden child of body horror and animation, and that's Uzumaki. If most body horror is about the body breaking, Uzumaki is about the body being rewritten. Junji Ito takes something as harmless as a spiral and turns it into a force that invades the human biology. The horror isn't scientific or viral, there's no lab accident. The fear comes from realizing the body isn't in charge of its own design. People don't just notice the spirals, their bodies obey them. Shuichi's father twists himself into a spiral shape, like his body is remembering its original blueprint. A girl's hair grows alive and starts feeding on others, turning something tied to beauty and identity into a parasitic organ. Ito keeps taking normal parts of the body and making them feel independent, like they have their own agenda. What makes it worse is how inevitable it feels. The transformations aren't sudden explosions of gore, they're slow, quiet, and almost natural. The real horror is the body isn't being attacked, it's becoming what it was always meant to be. Uzumaki takes something deeper than an injury. It isn't my body is damaged, it's my body was never truly mine. If you're going to talk about animated body horror, one of the best examples is Clayface. Clayface shows a different kind of horror. It's tragic, it's not explosive. He can be anyone except himself. His body is like unstable clay, his face slides, his features melt when he's upset. His body reacts to emotions like it's liquid. Every emotional crack becomes physical, every breakdown makes him lose his form. Animation turns trauma into something visible. His suffering happens on his skin. The horror isn't that he's a monster, it's that he can't stop becoming one. In this section, we're going to talk about everyone's favorite childhood Disney XD show, and that's Gravity Falls. Maybe it's not your favorite, but it's my favorite, and so therefore it's your favorite. In Gravity Falls, they use body horror as a filter through a kid's show lens. During Weirdmageddon, faces flip, body stretch, reality bends like rubber, features twist unnaturally. eyes sit wrong, smiles are too wide. It's less graphic, but the principles are still the same. The human form stops being reliable, the world becomes unstable, and bodies reflect that instability. Then there's the horror that comes from familiarity being corrupted. In this section, we're going to talk about one of my favorite animators on the YouTube site, and that happens to be Meat Canyon. And if I'm going to talk about animated body horror, it'd be stupid not to mention it. Meat Canyon takes cartoon exaggeration and pushes it past comfort. Smiles stretch too far, skin folds, feels like disease. Faces become masks of pain. Cartoons are supposed to be elastic and safe, but when the elasticity looks painful, it breaks a rule we grew up trusting. The body doesn't just deform, it feels wrong on a deeper level. And when we're watching the videos, we always feel uncomfortable. Not only is it the animation, the voice acting is really on par with being really uncomfortable on a deeper level. Watching it just feels like there's ants crawling in your skin. And when we're talking about Meat Canyon, I mean the big ones, like the Bugs Bunny video or the McDonald video. So it would be stupid not to mention him in this section. I'm a big fan. I love Meat Canyon. And this is where it really does get interesting. Body horror and animation doesn't just live through anime or Meat Canyon content. They also live in various forms of kids shows. Amazing World of Gumball constantly treats bodies like they don't matter. Characters get flattened, shattered, inflated, twisted, and pop back like nothing happened. Faces warp, limbs bend the wrong way, different animation styles clash, making characters feel like they don't belong in their own world. It's not meant to be scary, but the visual language is still the same. Early on, cartoons teach us that bodies are flexible, replaceable, and disposable. The difference is just consequence. In kids shows, the body snaps back. In horror, it doesn't. The tools are the same: stretch, distortion, and transformation, but now the pain stays. The identity doesn't return to normal, the damage becomes permanent. Live action shows the body breaking. Animation shows the body breaking the rules of existence. It shows identity melting, reality bending, emotions rewriting anatomy. It doesn't stop at what's possible, it goes into what feels psychologically true. Body horror and animation doesn't scare us because bodies break, it scares us because identity, control, and reality break with them. In animation with no physical limit, it's the perfect place to show that collapse. Thank you for watching. I'll see you guys next time.